Just like that.
We live, Charlemagne. We live.
It's like we was just here.
Man, we probably was just here.
We
That goddamn after's last night was.
I, look how we got the week finished. I will never know, but we got all the work done. So shouts to y'all
Mm-hmm.
checking us out every week. Peace to anybody rocking with the Buffy.
Yeah, whole time. So it's a very black week, right?
Super black.
Right, black on black on black and then black. You know what I mean?
Big black.
And I feel like I don't feel. I feel like nobody's talking about the Atlanta end.
Why? Look, all right. Do you do you want me to get into it? Are we going right? We going to start from the top right there?
No. I mean, I'm just. I just feel like nobody's really talking about it yet.
But you know it's because the thing is when it comes to Atlanta, shouts to Diz,
You.
piece of Diz is a
Test,
matter
test,
of
test.
fact. Put your ass up there.
What's up? What I did?
Nothing. Nah, you here. It's good to see you. It's always good to see you. I just wanted to make sure that
Oh man, I appreciate
visually.
being seen, nigga.
That's what I'm saying. I just want to make sure we all live and in tune. Nah, so
Actually, you know what though? Before we get into any of that, because there's a lot going on this week that we gotta
there's a
get to,
lot
right?
going on this week.
There are a couple group chats that me and brother Diz are part of.
Okay.
One of which, actually I haven't seen Diz on this week much on, but we were having a fairly spirited debate about how big a group are the Migos.
Ah.
So now my original question that I asked
Mhm.
was if we had to compare, because I was just trying to like put it in context for myself, like what these little niggas is going through, whatever. Just
Right.
like if you had to compare,
R.I.P.
uh,
Takeoff.
yeah,
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Takeoff.
Takeoff. If you had to compare Takeoff to a wrestler a wrestler. I'm sorry, I'm mixing my podcast. If you had to compare him to a rapper from our era,
Mm.
who would it be? Right. And I don't mean someone that died. I'm just saying, like,
What's the equivalent?
what level rapper is he to, you know what I'm saying, compared to like somebody from the era, yeah, the late 90s, you know what I'm saying?
You would at least, because again, you mentioned a group. You at least would want to get somebody who's in a group, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily a trio.
Right. So this is the thing about the Migos, and it led to another argument.
Mm.
I don't know if there's a bigger rap group than the Migos, like in the last 15 years.
How many? Like, what's how many rap groups? Like
Ain't a
rap.
lot.
The like the idea of and actually, it's funny because this ties into Atlanta. They was season one Atlanta, but also
Mhm.
one of the biggest shouts that the Migos got was when Atlanta got that hardware at the Emmys. They was like, "Yo, peace to the Migos. I
Shout out to
love the
Tom.
Right.
Migos." Shouts to Matt Book,
But for when,
but
shout out to me, goes Smoking Bad and Bougie.
it's
Mhm.
one. But yeah, it's. I think because I was stuck. I was trying. When you think about Takeoff again, shouts out to the Migos. Say what you will about whatever's going on today, but from legit the last 10 years, they've kind of had literally once Drake jumped on that Versace song, it was out of here. They was already on that move.
Mhm.
Fam, you said. Oh, well, I was gonna say before I say what you said. The thing about Takeoff again is three members of the Migos. Quavo, who you see in the middle, was seen as the obvious star. Something about him, people said
Mhm.
this guy could be the first solo act, and he tried it. I think they worked the best as a trio. Offset was an early favorite because he was a cat who like you could get Offset on your song and it turned into Offset's song.
Right.
He got the ad libs. This one Gucci Mane song of his, Offset, he's the intro, he's the like pre-hook, he's the first verse, and he's the full hook. It's damn near 2 minutes before Gucci Mane get on a song on his album. But when you hear Takeoff, when you listen to Takeoff, I think you kind of start to see, oh, well, he's kind of like the nucleus. Like, I don't want to say it starts from him, but you can kind of tell that he was definitely birthing a lot of their flows, a lot of this stuff. Like, it felt like a lot of the soul of the Migos was coming from him just being like whatever. It seemed like he was a chill dude. He's probably a real creative guy. And when they all three got in the studio, it all just sparked. So yeah, it's kind of, I can't even think of another like actual group that could be close to them in the last decade. And if you open that up, it's probably, again, looking at rappers who stuck together and made music together and made albums together, Migos is up there. Migos is up there.
Yeah, I mean, and then you put you put like they had the nigga funeral at the Staples Center.
Yeah.
I think that's
Veterans
a huge
Day.
deal. That's a huge deal.
I didn't even see a lot of it, but the last time I remember people tuning into a funeral was Kobe.
So I mean, I like maybe the two people that I that we kind of came up with was, I thought like a Jam Master Jay, because he was part of a trio and he was probably, I would say, the least popular of the trio. And I think that's the same thing for Takeoff. And somebody said like a Yella or a Ren.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see that. I can see someone that's been around there for the beginning, understands the what makes the group what it is, and kind of just lives that, I guess. You know what I'm saying? No, that makes sense. You said earlier in the week, you said the Jizza.
Now, so yeah, I think the Jizza works there too, because of course the most popular is Meth, right?
Right.
The founder is RZA, so it has to be somebody outside of those two. And that, you know what, really, Dirt, it could be Dirt.
I was initially thinking Dirt. I was initially thinking if, because but it's tough because Dirty was so like the way the Migos, again, like the way the Migos worked, they was all
We got to run in.
We got a super run and piece to Vader, the villain. The Migos, they bounced off each other. You know what I mean? Like, and it's tough to look at somebody who's so unique, because like Meth and Dirty was cool and they was in a group, but like Dirty album and Meth album was two totally different chambers at a certain point. So it's tough.
I got a better. I think I got a better one, yo.
Okay.
And this is somebody who actually passed, like Fife passing, like, you know what I mean. Fife and Takeoff, like they are like the unsung heroes. You know what Q-Tip's contribution is. You know what Shaheed's contribution is. You know what Fife says, but he's not as celebrated as those other ones. So
I think Fife I would say Fife is more celebrated than Ali Shaheed Muhammad.
1000%.
Not, I mean, of course not Q-Tip.
I guess I was in a certain, I don't know, maybe in the mainstream and shit, but like, I know you and I know, we all know what Shaheed Muhammad's contributions really are out there. You know what I mean? So,
but I was gonna say, even outside of, RP Fife, even outside of his passing, if you just look at the levels of what each member of Tribe did, you know what I mean? Like Tip is still, oh, Megan Thee Stallion, yeah, I'm mentoring her. Like he's still in the mix, and it's still is seen as like a pillar kind of, you know, what came before what's going on right now. Shaheed, he's scoring fucking not Black Panther, Luke Cage, like they're doing all types, like they're in the mix on like a totally different level. Fife was working. Hell, Fife put out an album not too long ago. You know, I remember
that Fife album was really
and
good.
that shit was tough. And I think for people who listen to Tribe, once you got outside of like, you know, some of the more obvious, like deeper socially conscious, you know, the jazz, like Fife was there for the bars. At a certain point, you wanted to hear somebody spit on that ill Tribe shit when Fife verse come in. And I mean, so I can understand that in that context, if you wanted to place a Fife and a Takeoff together, it's not 1-to-1, but I understand. But I understand.
So yeah, the discussion, Sham, is we were talking about, you know, losing Takeoff and what rapper would be equivalent to his position in hip hop, like back in our golden days, the days when we was outside, the mid and late 90s.
I'm gonna say golden era equivalent, if that makes sense.
I mean, y'all covered it. I mean, really, it's from what I just picked up of the conversation. Like, definitely, Fife didn't get the I want to say respect, maybe, but I will say that, you know, in Takeoff, like it was one of my guilty pleasures is listening to the Migos.
Right,
but if you really listen to Take, it was kind of like I can see the equivalent, because like if you listen to him, like he makes like he's the setter, like he sets the tone for most of the records.
Yeah.
Like when Takeoff come on, it's like you're waiting for it. Just like when Fife used to come on, you're like, all right, Tip is cool, but where's Fife at?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was the tone setter. Like if it was just a solo record, because you know, like when they had like on the Tribe album, it would be more a Fife joint than you.
Is that me tripping or is that
you're not tripping?
No, he's on max headroom time.
I understand what he's saying. No, I understand. Yeah, I think it's when I was at Complex, I think it was when what was the Cardi B song Drip came out?
Yeah, it came through.
Because it was Cardi and all three of the Migos. Take is at the end of that record. Like he just go off for like 45 seconds, and the timeline was lit. The night that dropped, the time I woke up the next day, got to work. My former employer. We having conversation. I said, "Is Takeoff the new Offset?" And shouts out to my boy D. He was the editor in chief. He was like, "Yo, write that piece. Just write it right now." Because it was one of those things where it went Quavo, Offset. But I think people who really knew the Migos and really understood what was going on with that trio, Takeoff was that guy who, for those who knew, you had to check for his verse. So it's God, and I'm still not even sure of the reasoning. It's a bunch of cats in a room beefing over a basketball game turned into.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even try.
I haven't heard the whole, like, you know, all the internet Twitter detectives whole stories yet, so I couldn't even tell you.
I've heard too many. I've heard and watched too many at this point, and I know.
I hear that his man is the one who might have made a mistake and gave him
so that was a very early story that seems to have been debunked as I'm trying to I don't want to talk about.
It's all
No,
speculation.
right.
Yeah,
right.
I kind of, from what I heard, I don't think that was the case. Even though that seemed like a heavy, like that seemed really crazy at first.
I heard
But
that's what I heard immediately. Yeah.
yeah, but
Right,
then
right.
the story is it was only a certain group of people that came in there and had what they had. So it was the situation is interesting. But at the end of the day, we lost. You know what I mean? Somebody, you know what I mean, big in the community of hip hop. So I think that's really, you know what I mean. I ain't no police, so.
Well, that's the thing, you know, and at the end of the day, we may not know what the whole situation is, but you know what I do know, Take ain't here. And they were just him and Quavo was like again, it's the timing is crazy because they literally 3-4 months ago the conversation about the Migos was why is Offset not rocking with them anymore. There was a little split, and then Quavo and Offset they were playing music. I believe they may have just dropped a project. What was it?
Neff and
Yeah.
Uncle Neff, yeah.
Uncle Neff. But they had like because they were referencing like Raekwon. It was like Infinity Links. Like
Infinity Links.
Yeah, they were real. They looking back at Takeoff's like he obviously was hype shit. Like Supreme did a whole Public Enemy, you know, bit with the it was a 91 album, I believe. And he wore the puffer jacket on the cover of the Double XL. Like he could have wore anything. You know what I'm saying? And he made sure he rocked again, the shit was kind of hard, but that Public Enemy logo was sitting right there. Like, you know, I think they were probably, it seems like Takeoff was probably a little more tapped into the real, I don't know what you want to say it, than people may have realized. At the very least, it seems like they always paid homage to some fire shit.
Did y'all see because you know the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was last weekend and M winning. Did anybody happen to see all the folks that he had like bigged up? Like
did it in like alphabetical order or something like that? Like
yes.
Yeah.
I didn't see
like from like the nigga was like Lakim Shabazz and the Foosh nigga. He was naming mad niggas, man.
He did the whole hip hop.
It felt like it, you know what I'm saying? It definitely felt like it. It was
you kind of have to, right? If you're the white guy going into the Hall of Fame as a rapper, you got to be like, all right, let me make sure I the whole hip hop, because at a certain point he can't say the wrong thing, and he looks crazy if he misses somebody's names. I wonder how long it took him to finalize whatever that list was to make sure that he got everybody in there.
Is he the only one in there, or do you count like I guess what Limp Bizkit or something like that? Like,
didn't NWA already go in?
Yeah, I think there's
a white hip hop, right?
White hip hop.
Oh, nobody else counts. Nobody else counts.
I mean, who else?
Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how they'll count it, but it's not. It ain't really a part of the culture, but they'll throw it in there as a.
Are the Beastie Boys even in there? I'm not even.
The Beastie Boys are probably.
The Beastie Boys got inducted 10 years ago, so it feels like it may be Eminem and the like. Who else would it be? Milkbone ain't going to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Milkbone is a great reference.
Everlast not going to get in there.
Let's see.
Whitey Ford.
Let's do it.
I would be surprised though if House of Pain was in off one song.
But they were more than a rap group. Weren't they like a real rock group or something like that? Or
you know, Everlast went off and did his thing by
himself. I think he was out in there more so than the group, because once he popped off as a solo artist, I don't even know the names of the other cats in House of Pain. And they was in the back.
Is it House DJ Lethal? House of Pain is very funny.
It was House and it was Pain. And it just featured Everlast.
House Pain and Everlast is amazing. That's the name of the episode.
House and Pain may be the name of the episode.
But side note, if they had their business in order, y'all, they could be getting checks to this day. Hopefully they had their business in order, because That song plays in games. It plays everywhere.
Facts. Jump around is all
it's,
over.
It's Everlast, DJ Lethal, and Danny Boy.
DJ Lethal was the
Danny
guy.
Boy. I do remember Danny Boy.
Like,
They
let
had
me
a
see you
song.
toss it up, Danny Boy and shit.
No,
No.
no.
Danny Boy.
Didn't Danny Boy come out?
I think he did. That's why I think I remember it. I think he had
Like
one.
95.
Did Danny Boy from the Death Row Danny Boy? I thought came out the closet.
Oh yeah, see, I thought that's what you were saying. I don't know nothing.
Hey,
about
nigga,
that.
this ain't Shade Room, nigga. I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know. He may have. I don't know. It was 55 different artists on the Murder Was the Case soundtrack. He's one of the names I remember from that era, and I don't know. Once that song ended, I don't know where those cats went. Aside from Sam Snead.
Nigga, Danny Boy said I was doing gay things with R&B singers. Yes, I thought so. I remember that being a thing. That's a wild thing for a nigga to say.
All right.
I don't know if it's wild. It's 2022, fam.
No. But he wasn't saying it from the way he was talking about it, like it was, you know what I mean? Him.
Wow.
Maybe he was doing gay things with women.
That's impossible.
Yeah, what that mean?
What does that mean? What's the science?
That's impossible.
Hey, we used to have LK on the show. She can tell you all about it. Elbow deep.
As long as you being safe, stay safe.
As long as
safe,
you
safe.
safe. Look at Cal staying out the way. Smart man.
We weren't even supposed to be this pop culture week. I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know how we got here. Nah,
Deborah Cox.
You know how to. Hey, get this out of here.
That's a double entendre. How did we get here? Nobody's supposed to be here.
Nobody's supposed to be here.
That's amazing.
That is actually fucking funny. Nah, should we get to it?
Hey, might as well.
Let's go. I love that.
Yeah, you already know what it is. It's the Where's Buffy podcast where we're built for comfort
and not for speed. That was a speedy introduction. I didn't realize that was a new introduction. I like the heartbeat. Yeah. Where the fuck you pull fucking Sham from, bitch? Where the fucking Sham come from? This nigga just hey yo, Diz, I'm here. I got big muscles and no waves.
Wow.
Wow.
I will say, I mean, you know, shouts to the Buffy audience. I mean, y'all know who Sham is. Black wrestling audience, most of the time they've seen Sham has been talking about some hip hop or some Marvel shit. We had a whole conversation about Marvel on the Patreon like a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago. So I had a feeling as we were prepping for this, and I saw some messages where Sham was popping up. I don't know. I don't want to get to the Black Panther yet because again, like Fam said earlier, this weekend is black as hell.
Yeah.
Not even talking about Black Star and Chappelle being on SNL, but the fact that the last episode ever of Atlanta dropped the same day that Black Panther returned to the theaters. That's some black ad. You ain't gonna get. Let me know when you get a weekend where and I'm gonna say it, one of the greatest television shows I've ever seen is dropping the same day as the black as fuck Marvel superhero movie. Come on. Let me know when you get a weekend, another day.
Let me stop you there, buddy. One of the greatest shows you've ever seen,
Atlanta. Yes.
Ever seen?
Yeah. It's not the Sopranos.
You've seen The Wire, Soprano, Game of Thrones, and Atlanta's up there with that shit.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
All right.
Did you watch the finale?
I did.
What did the nigga that was doing the sushi say?
Okay, no spoilers, but yes. Go make sure y'all.
I'm just saying, like,
make sure you go watch the finale. But it was very poignant. I
will say this: when he was, because I felt like obscene. You know what I'm saying? Like you be watching something and be like, damn.
Wrote that for me.
I be saying this shit all. We be talking about this all the time. Like the fact that the last episode of they show, amidst all the insanity that was going on in that story, which I will not spoil for people who've not been able to watch it yet.
And I really do want to discuss it. We just can't discuss it now. But go ahead.
Hey,
Shout out to Big Judge Judy though.
Facts. I think Judge Judy's amazing.
Shout out to Shorty that pulled up in that car. She is a legend.
She said, if this was water, would I do this? And then that shit was like half full.
So I'm gonna say something, and Cal, once you finish your point, but I'm gonna say something real quick.
Go ahead.
The way that it ended, I didn't think it was going to be the character who is the focal point. Really, I thought it was going to be another character's. You see what I'm saying?
You was looking for something else.
I was okay. I'm trying not to spoil the shit.
No, yeah, I understand.
Hey man, skip forward 2 minutes.
Yeah, I will say if you do not want to be spoiled at all.
5 seconds. 1, 2, skip. Boy, skip. 5. Okay, I thought it was Ern's dream. That whole shit. But okay, all right, cool. So that's all.
Well,
that's all. That's my spoilers I'm gonna give.
Well, I will say this because, well, 2 things. One, finish my point. The fact that they spent their series finale with everything that was going on to make a point to say, hey, unite. The only way we're going to get through this is sticking together and staying the course. Is again that it's near and dear to my heart on some real shit.
We might need to cut that out and use that as audio on my outro, but we'll talk about it.
I'm just saying. But I was gonna say, it's when you talk about, is it one of that series finale proves why there's so again we didn't even know there was no reference of a thick Judge Judy at all until that episode. You know what I'm saying? And they were able, sometimes at the end of a show, they'll introduce a new character. The last episode may be some like really weird, they like try and get a little too artsy. I think and I'll say this because I've been kind of in the Atlanta zone the last couple of weeks. The way that show started and the way that show ended, the voice is the exact same. Like you knew. If you go back and watch the first episode of Atlanta, you can't be surprised about anything that's happened because that first episode was so Atlanta. It was like the right amount of weird. It was the right amount of deep, and it was so much funny and so much hip hop. And then that last episode was the same exact shit.
What was the first one?
The first one was literally Ern was at work and his homeboy was playing the Paperboy video. He said, yo, that's my cousin. He said, that's your cousin. He thought he was talking about one of the chicks in the video. He's like, nah, Paperboy. So he went home. He had to talk to his family. Said, yo, where Alfred at? Went to find Alfred. Said, boom, I'm trying to manage you. Alfred said, I need Malcolm and you Martin. So Ern said, bet. Give me the song. I'm going to get it on the radio. And he had the interaction with the little white boy who was saying the N-word when he was with Ern, but wouldn't say it around Paperboy.
Right.
Ern he was like $500. He slipped that shit up under the door. Paperboy was playing on the radio, and that's when he got into that altercation with dude outside the convenience store or whatever, where they got, because literally the episode end with a gunshot, and then the next episode they dealing with like
the next episode had my favorite scene of all time of everything. When they was listen, it's Tupac in the locker, and ain't no boys in here, nigga.
Right.
this the man's jail.
Like, because the conversation was so real. It was so real because you know what guy's gonna be like, man, you gay. Like he hears the situation, is immediately gonna like spit the first thing out. And you have some people who are definitely, you know, they was lost in they was caught up in the rapture. You know what I'm saying? They didn't realize what was going on. But the key, and mind you, this was happening in Atlanta, a city that, you know, is known for, you know, it's, I don't want to say it's LGBTQ friendly, but, you know, it's for years I always heard about what, you know, what goes down in Atlanta. And Earn in that conversation wasn't, I don't want to say he was indifferent. He was kind of just like, yo, love who you want to love. Like, you, again, there's a lot of lessons in the show. I think, again, if people really sat down, I don't want to say with a fucking pen and paper to take notes, but there was a lot in that show. And I think it went over, especially a lot of white people's heads, because it wasn't for them. They was that there's a few, The Wire's one of them. It's a few shows that I feel like was written for me. And I feel like Atlanta tapped into a lot of the different things that I like in terms of entertainment, but it was it was perfect about, you know, recreating shit on the timeline. They took a lot of risks. They put Michael Vick. What other show, you know, got Michael Vick in there for a random cameo?
Racing niggas in the parking lot,
Migos,
outside the club.
Yo, so question: is there a possibility that season 3 of Atlanta becomes season 2 of The Wire? One of which, and what I mean by that is like it was panned by a great deal of folks when it came out, but then when people go back, they like, oh nah, they did this and they did this, and you needed it. So, like, is there a possibility that season 3 of Atlanta becomes season 2 of The Wire?
I don't think so. And I think that leads to my criticism of the show is that there are so many. They started a storyline, so Atlanta's not serialized. I mean, there's stuff that takes place in the universe that they keep with, like, so you know, the Alpha shot that guy, and there was other things that happen and shit, but it's not serialized. And so for them to start kind of like taking these, with that whole river ghost, I mean the lake ghost thing that was going on, and then they left it unfinished. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of sometimes felt like they were going in a direction that they never got to. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of my criticisms of the show. So the season 2 of The Wire is a little bit different because it is serialized. It's telling a story. It's an integral part of the story. People just want to see the hood and the violence and all of that.
Yes.
You gotta have storytelling. You know what I mean? Like, sidebar, this guy was telling me, like, he's like, yeah, they putting gay shit and everything. I'm like, yo, they putting sex and everything. Like,
right, yeah, literally.
I just want what's the story? And sometimes that's my criticism, is that it's like I want, like, if you can be non sequitur, be non sequitur. But they started to tell a story that they never quite finished, and that kind of was one of my issues with it.
Yeah. No, I think my fam, when we first went live, fam asked if it seemed like it was quiet on the timeline for Atlanta, which it really is. But think of, again, blackest weekend for entertainment you've seen in a while. 2018 is when season 2 hit. 2018 is also the year that Black Panther dropped in theaters. I'm not saying this is all the same thing, but, you know, just rock with me. Season 2, probably one of the best seasons of the show. It's my favorite season, I think. After seeing the whole series, I think season 2, Robert season, is still my favorite of Atlanta. That ends that year. Donald Glover goes on to be in the new Lion King. He goes on to be in the Han Solo movie. He's starting to work. Brian Tyree Henry, Lakeith Stanfield, Zazie Beetz, like, they're all, because Donald Glover's working, they're working. So we know it's usually a year or so in between seasons. 2018 turns into, oh, don't expect a show in 2019. 2020, COVID. You know what I mean? So there was a lot.
His pops died. His pops passed away as well.
But again, what I'm saying is there's a lot of time that went in between the end of season 2 and the begin, because we're talking late 2018, whatever time in 2018 season 2 ends, and March 2022. It's almost 4 calendar years between season 2 and season 3. And then, like Diz said, season 3 wasn't a linear story for the most part. You get 10 episodes, you may have got 5 or 6 that were actually about Ern, Darius, Alfred, and Van. They were all under this umbrella theme of what I've seen people say, the curse of whiteness, or things like that. But they examined it in niggas in Europe trying to figure out European culture, as well as these fanciful tales about fairy tales, I think is what they called it, about trying to get the little kid that ended up getting ran off the cliff by the 2 women who killed all the kids that they was adopting, trying to make that story feel better. You got a story about a white man having to deal with a black woman coming up to him and say, yo, let me get my reparations. Like, it wasn't a season that was built for people who had been waiting 3+ years to get the story. You know what I mean? It was, they were past the idea of, so here's what happened since you last saw. They just throw a motherfucker into the mix. And I think that's what made the show unique to me, because they took those risks. You're able to get a rich wigger, poor wigger episode where the entire premise is people going into a gymnasium trying to show how black they are to get a free ride to school from the rich black guy. Like, no other show is going to be able to take those risks, land them, and get the shit put on cable TV. It's the void that is going to be left with no Atlanta when you talk about television that's going to be open and honest with issues that deal with our community. Next summer, unless they pull up some shows this coming spring, it's going to be really, and the shouts out to Abbott Elementary. That's going to be like the main black show that you see on TV. But even then, they deal with funny. They're not dealing with the social issues like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of years.
What city you think could you build a show around? I just saw that what's the name of it? Southside is coming back. Mm-hmm. So we got that sort of thing. I love that voice. They speak to me directly. But what other cities do you think could be kind of the set piece of a black show that could reach folks?
Baltimore, DC.
That's been like
the DMV, like a joint called the DMV could work.
DMV would be ill,
but then Baltimore wouldn't be able to get in it.
That's a fact.
There we go.
That's a fact.
They
can talk about reaching Baltimore. They can be like, "Oh, we went to Baltimore in this episode or something." You know what I mean? We left the DMV and went to Baltimore.
They went to a festival in Baltimore. Yeah,
that would be an episode like. Not, they cross the border, they no longer in the DMV, but you're still, and somebody, you're still in Maryland, but it's not a DMV.
I think you just have to have like that. You have to have a distinct culture, something that you can really pick out and point to that says this is inherently DMV or Baltimore or whatever.
I think even like Northern Virginia, like in Northern Virginia,
right?
You go down past like Woodbridge. After Woodbridge, you start getting to Richmond, you start getting to Fredericksburg. That ain't the DMV no more. I think another cool city too probably be like New Orleans, or like,
I was gonna say New Orleans.
New Orleans, like Northern California. We always go SoCal with everything, but like Northern California, like Oakland, like Sacramento, like nobody's really tapped into that. And that's Northern Cal and Southern Cal are 2 totally different places.
Yeah,
they're not the same.
I was gonna say it's not a city, but if you gave me like Broward County, the show in Florida, because it's some pockets in Florida where it's just straight up,
it's crazy
black folk. And I mean, it's a lot of the Florida hip hop that's coming out now is kind of concentrated in a couple of different spots, and because Florida isn't just beaches and racism like it is. There are some pockets where it's like just it's really wild for
Or like
for
Duval too, because I mean, you thought anybody else tell it like Duval County is pretty off the fucking hook.
It's a couple of black cities out there that could we got Chicago, we've gotten LA,
Got in New York 1,000 times. Like
shit, Power got 4 different shows or 3 different shows on right now. They've done some Philly stuff. You could probably tell a decent black Philly story outside of the little glimpses you got like Creed and the Kevin Hart shit that he did for Netflix last year. But yeah, what other black I feel like there's a black city that I'm missing. Houston?
Camden, New Jersey.
Damn, that would be.
I want to see a story about like, because you know there's like niggas in like Iowa and shit. Like I want to see some place there's like, you know,
shout out to my Wyoming niggas.
You feel me? Like there's like places where there's a large population of black people, but and you don't think about it being black people from there. Like that's kind of, I want to see some shit about that. You know,
it's like what's the shit? Lil Rock, like when HBO did the banging in Lil Rock, it was a lot of niggas in that. They whole arms was getting blown off. You could probably do some stories out there.
Well, I know. Well, wherever there was slaves is gonna be niggas, but you don't think about niggas in Iowa.
Niggas in Iowa is definitely the name of the shit.
Niggas in Iowa is the name. Niggas in North Dakota. Niggas in North Dakota.
Yo,
are there niggas in North Dakota?
Yes, there's a whole Air Force base and there's mad niggas out there.
They get shipped there though. They ain't born out there.
They born.
I mean, if you out there,
that's a good point. Good point.
Out
That's a good point. I wouldn't think
of niggas in the Dakotas will be ill. Yo, you know they selling mad cigarettes out there.
The shit is called you call the show ND and it stands for Nigga Dakota.
Nigga Dakota, yes.
You could be South or North, you never know.
Oh yeah, yo.
Now, again, if you've not seen Atlanta yet, make sure you. Hopefully, you're at least caught up with season 4. It's been so quiet on the timeline. Mm-hmm. I understand, but you really fucking played yourself because season 4 was actually really damn funny, really damn good. But it's interesting. I mentioned earlier, 4 years ago, the blackest shit that was out that year was Atlanta and Black Panther. 2022, they dropped the final 2 seasons of Atlanta this year. Mm-hmm. And in the first episode, I wasn't even thinking about it when it happened. The kids were in the class. The kid got in trouble because he was dancing on the desk when he found out that they was going to go see Black Panther 2. That started that entire whirlwind of insanity. So it's only fitting that we're able to, and gosh, I don't know. I know fam saw it. Sham and did y'all didn't see Black Panther Wakanda Forever yet?
So last night. Come on, man.
Sham. So Diz, you did not see it?
I did not see it.
All right, so I that's good to know. It's 2 things that can happen. One,
we could talk about it spoiler free.
I can always do a spoiler free, but Diz, I don't know if you want to dip because I don't know if you plan on seeing the film soon. If you don't want to hear nothing at all,
I do want to see the film. I don't know how soon I'm gonna go see it. I gotta wait for you white wearing motherfuckers to get the fuck. I don't want to be around all that clown shit, man. I don't want to be in the theater with a whole bunch of clown ass niggas with paint on their face and shit.
God dang, boy. Diz don't want niggas to like nothing.
Shouts to Lovely. I saw Lovely on the timeline earlier. She had the white shit up on her in it. Yeah, no, but it's if you're gonna do it, I got another Black Panther crew neck. I'm going to take my son to see it on Saturday. I'm damn sure wearing if I'm doing it one day of the year. Fuck that.
What are you wearing?
I got a Black Panther crew neck. It's got like a circle emblem. It's like his fucking mask, or whatever. It's like Black Panther.
I'm with that.
It's nothing crazy. I'm not putting a fucking kufi on.
So hold on.
You're going there looking like M'Baku with your arms and shit out. That's a goofy ass shit.
I got no shirt on. Listen, my chest. No.
If a nigga had that on
in the theater,
how does that hurt you?
It's a good point.
It annoys me. It annoys
Why?
me. I mean, nigga, do you dress up to everything that you going to do? Like do you dress up like characters and everything, nigga? Do I gotta go to Ruth Chris and dress up like a cow, nigga? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
What is it? My question is, what does it hurt? I don't understand.
It's goofy.
It's gumped out. No goofy behavior in the theaters.
Let them live. I mean, honestly, I think I went. You know, I always try to do the Dolo mission Thursday so I can watch it. I can watch it without my kid asking me 1,000 questions before she's gonna ask the questions. Because you know I'm a comic book head. So I go Thursday Dolly so I can watch it, get the post credit out the way. So when I go take her, I can do the bathroom break. I can, you know what I mean? We can do all that. It ain't that bad. Like it's only like select theaters where you're gonna get like the droves of like craziness. I went to Tyson's last night.
Oh, you're not gonna get it out there.
No, it was quiet. Like it was.
Nigga, you go to almost or security, nigga. You gonna get niggas drumming out that bitch and all that kind of goof ass shit. I don't want to be out there.
Oh, I'm gonna say this: at the beginning of the quarantine, my favorite local theater got shut down. They never did. It was like a 24 screen. They had an IMAX and all that. It was never no goofy. I went to see all the Marvel shit. It was never no goofy shit there. I had to go 10 minutes, 15 minutes to this little rinky dink ass AMC because it's nothing else, and I'm an AMC Stubbs member, so I gotta go.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this though: which one was the black one?
You know, the I don't go. Is there a black one? There's a theater near me where it's their best screen is like a 2D experience where like I don't know what the fuck they trying to do. It's a Regal. I don't even go out that way.
They got that XD where the seats move and stuff.
I guess
I went to Arundel Mills and watched it, it was definitely dressed up niggas.
At the theater.
Diz, you could price yourself out. You know what I mean? Go to an iPick. Go to the little bourgeois joints. They're not doing that in there.
No, they're not.
For a fact.
They give you blankies. I don't want to go nowhere where they give me a blanket.
Nah, first of all, don't you ever take that blanket.
The small box for everybody.
Yo, I'll take the free popcorn, but don't hold the blanket, yo.
The blanket is for people under 35. Everybody over 35 is going to sleep.
Facts.
Everybody, niggas.
Give me a blanket.
It don't even need both shoulders. If you put that blanket over one shoulder,
it's a wrap.
That's gotta be like this.
And they serving taste. Don't forget you can get you a little taste.
Oh
yeah, they bringing out whatever
you
need.
If you wanted to lift the blanket. You know what? Never mind. Don't even worry
That's
about
what I'm saying.
Right there.
Don't let me show up with that bitch a little sleepy. Anything could happen. Nah, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I got to see this early this week. No spoilers. God damn.
Damn, yo, come on, Diz.
Yo, they tried.
Oh, yo, I'm gone. Yo, fuck y'all, man. I'm out.
Don't do that. Nah. We keeping it spoiler free.
This said la 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 la.
They tried. In the first thing before I wanted to see this deal, I was like, all right, Cal, how many times these niggas gonna try to make me cry? Right?
Yeah.
Well, I had to let them know. It's like, look, you know that they said we're not recasting T'Challa. And you know, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, he's not here. So you have to, at the very least, go in expecting like one of a couple of scenarios. Just go in prepared. You got to be ready.
Yeah. If
you need a Kleenex, put it in your pocket. Put it, make sure your lady got it if she going with you. Hey, you got tissue.
My allergies,
yeah, it was fucking trees is out. It's warm out here. I didn't realize the shit was going on, but
hay fever.
What you expect? But you have to remember it's like a 2.5 hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of movie to get to the nigga shit, the Wakandas and the Namors and all the nonsense that's going on. Diz, Diz, do you not care about spoilers?
Oh no, I think
I care. So if y'all gonna do spoilers, I got to go.
No. I was gonna ask what I'm because the normal idea is.
Say something about the Infinity Gauntlet. We can't.
You stupid. That's very
funny.
Then,
and then Venom. Yeah, no, we can't talk about none of that.
And Spider-Man. And
Spider-Man was wild. He had the Koofy on cock like T. No,
I was like, why did Superman finally put the drawers on the inside of his pants? I was so proud of him. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for none of that.
Now he just man.
Yeah, watching Superman get dressed the correct way is a wild thing. I don't want to see any of it.
He's like, inside, that is an alien concept. I didn't realize.
Shit. No. But Ryan Coogler, I'm gonna say this. Anytime Ryan Coogler, you say Ryan Coogler directed a film, first in line. I don't care. Right. That man, he could. I don't think I've seen him do a rom-com yet, but I feel like he could do damn near anything.
Hey, yo, should star Marshawn Lynch, and it should be based.
Facts.
And imagine, yo, you think Marshawn Lynch called chicks blood too? Hey, blood, you know,
probably.
Yes.
He probably got a whole name for him.
Fine as a mug, blood. You know what I'm saying?
Look at that yapper. Some shit. He got some type of wild leg. I saw him talking about fuck. We were talking about the Migos. It's hilarious. He went to some spot and they had gumbo tacos.
Oh yeah, and he dipped the taco.
He dipped the taco in the John the way he started. He said they mixed the niggas with the Migos. He dipped it in there, ate the shit. He was like, I fuck with the gumbo, I fuck with the taco, but it don't work together. He's like, shouts out to the niggas, shouts out to the Migos. He got a whole. That's a different motherfucker, yo.
No, 100%.
That's a different motherfucker. Give me, put him in Wakanda. Mm-hmm. Him with M'Baku. Let him be out there with the fucking the woods. How they out there so cold? They ain't got no clothes on.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, why would a nigga go to a movie in November with no shirt on?
I mean, it's been 70s, yo.
I'm saying, yo.
Hey, yo, Vin tripping.
Vin, you wild.
What?
Wow.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not saying that out loud. So if you're listening to the Buffy anywhere but on YouTube to get the visual, you playing yourself. YouTube.com/Where's Buffy podcast. As always. Diz, I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
The regular time frame is the Monday after the movie hits theaters.
Yes.
So you're gonna have to get your mute game on. You're gonna have to get your blinders on or something because those takes gonna start hitting the timeline very soon.
I'm avoiding like bitch niggas and weirdos, yo, because them niggas will be on Facebook like, okay, so here's what happens. You know what I mean?
So I'm gonna be honest here. This one is the lion's share of people are going to see this movie yesterday,
right,
today, and tomorrow. Like those are the 3 days that like most people are going to see it. So Sunday morning,
yeah,
you gotta stay out the way, man.
Yeah,
you go catch you a matinee. You know what I mean?
Dip off
something. Because
I'm mixed drink at the Coca-Cola joint. Put your little mixture, put all of it in there.
Get you a couple of airplanes or whatever whiskey you love. Just pour that shit right up in
there. Get your mind right.
Get you a big gulp. Just pour a couple of airplanes in.
You that is the eye pick. Don't take the smallpox sheet.
Wow. I'm gonna say that I will say because I don't want to hold nobody too long, especially when we're gonna get too deep into this movie. But phase 4 of the MCU has been very interesting. I don't want to say it's my least favorite phase, but I feel like movie-wise,
call a spade, Kyle.
Movie-wise, it's been more underwhelming than it's been over the last 10, 12 years, whatever it's been.
It's an elbow. That's why though, right? Phase 4 is an elbow. You know what I mean?
They're building. They got to build. Yeah.
You got to have at least one 10 out of 10 movie in every phase. At least one.
I
haven't seen this movie.
I was gonna say I think Wakanda Forever, outside of everything else it does, it makes me hopeful for Phase 5 and the next batch of movies, because, and maybe it's because Ryan Coogler is just one of the greatest directors out right now. Yeah, I fucking said it. Hit me, Cal, on Twitter, whatever the fuck you want to say.
No one's gonna argue with that.
I don't want to hear. I don't want, like, you could talk shit about whatever you want to talk about. You're not going to look at Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and be like, yo, that director's all right.
Yo, I'm going to tell you,
cool.
there are, in my opinion, at least 3 Oscar-worthy people out of this. Well, nah, because you talked to like the really different ones, like this, the music and the set pieces and you know what I mean, costuming. All those is still, you know what I mean. But like, there are 3 performances, including Coogler, that I feel warrant Oscar discussion, and we talked about that earlier today. So, you know what I mean? There are folks in this movie that just kill it, and there are scenes that are just some of the deepest things that we've seen. So hopefully, you know what I mean, people get they just do after this movie.
Right.
I think as far as Phase 4 goes, I think this it's like I said, it's an elbow. It's you have the rising of the first, you know what I mean, the first phase. Second phase, you know what I mean, you're getting higher, you see your purpose in the second phase, and then you get the finality, you in that saga in Phase 3. Now Phase 4, where do we go next?
Right.
So it starts, you really starting from scratch. What's the first movie of Phase 4? What was the first anything in Phase 4?
Well, WandaVision and Black Widow.
WandaVision was the first thing to hit Phase 4. Black Widow was the first film.
Did they count Black Widow was first official film of Phase 4?
Was it? Yeah, I think Black Widow was the first film.
Was Black Widow?
Black Widow was supposed to be the first thing for Phase 4. No, I think because WandaVision was not supposed to be the first thing for Phase 4. It just happened to be, if I'm not mistaken, because of COVID and the theaters, they didn't want to drop Black Widow.
It was a long thing about that, dropping it in on it. It took them a while to drop it.
Everything got delayed, and WandaVision was supposed to be like the second or third thing out, and they just said, fuck, we got to start it. Disney Plus is a thing, so they dropped it. It just
Scarlett Johansson also had some contract things. That's why they didn't.
There was a lot going on.
So, all right, real quick, the films, just the films from this phase are Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I liked most of them.
I liked most of them, but I mean,
I didn't see Eternals.
I've still not seen it. True. But if you were to compare them to like Phase 3 or Phase 2, the movies that were in some of those, it's gonna knock it out the water.
Yeah, because it's not close. Like if you grading just those movies in Phase 4, I guess you would give it a 4 out of 3. 4 of them were pretty good. 3 of them were just, why did you do this? Because I understand what you're saying earlier. It is a transition because you paid off Phase 3 with Endgame, Infinity War. You paid that off, and once again, you got to rebuild it again. But at the same token, though, like there's turns you could have made that you oversaturated kind of, because you gave us a Miss Marvel. Like if you would have just gave us WandaVision, Loki, and let's say, I don't know.
What If was amazing.
What If was great. Yeah, What If is great. But all the other ones,
those 3 things.
I like She-Hulk.
I like the first episode of She-Hulk because it explained what happened to Bruce.
Right.
How he got back right. That's all I liked about it. The rest of it, you could have, and this is, I don't want to go into another tangent, but I think that's where they're transitioning from actual these series into special presentations. If you guys didn't hear about that, they're going to kind of move towards that
That's what the Guardians holiday special and the werewolf.
Or like Werewolf by Night, is that what it's called?
Yeah, that was around Halloween. Yeah,
because that way you get in, you get out. Like you're not doing a 6 episode. Like
exactly.
It's a really long movie chopped up.
Exactly.
When I think the best word you said there was oversaturation. But again, it's one of those things. In Phase 4, WandaVision was the first Marvel series original to hit Disney Plus. They were trying to establish a foundation for Disney Plus, just like HBO Max just came out of that. They once Discovery came in and bought them up, they restructured the whole shit, and a lot of that shit was how do we scale back what we were doing with HBO Max. So it was a weird time for everybody. I think looking at the fact that we came out of Phase 3 with it was Endgame. You know, there was a lot of amazing things that happened in that phase. You kind of have to go down in the valley. It doesn't have to be a bunch of shitty movies or like, you know, subpar things and then like a couple of great things. I think that's where they kind of have to figure it out. It's like
we didn't get Batman versus Superman out of any of that.
No, yeah, we didn't get any super duds, but I think
y'all didn't see Eternals.
I did not see Eternals. No, you're right. That's 100%.
Fair enough.
But I think the thing is Marvel doesn't have to make an Eternals. You know, I mean, they've got enough money and there's enough talent out there where you can turn something into something better, and it's only going to be beneficial. But I don't know if it's bumps in the road. I don't know if it's a couple of bad decisions. I don't know. They just didn't give a fuck because it was a pandemic. But with the world opening up and theaters being more of a bigger thing, something tells me they're going to go back to who's the next Ryan Coogler? You know, who's the next star we could turn into a superhero and build on that. It feels like they're at least with again, Wakanda Forever.
What's the next movie?
The next one is Ant-Man. Yeah, but I was gonna say Phase 5. Kang the Conqueror is a big part of that, and Kang is going to be seemingly throughout Phase 5 and 6.
Yeah.
So you know, I think we're kind of like Fam said, we hit the bottom of that elbow, and we probably should start, you know, getting on that upswing again because they got a couple of Avenger movies that are going to be the end result of a lot of this. So again, watch Wakanda Forever, and then start paying attention because it feels like it may be
time to go.
It's time to go because if you look at that slate, you're going if it stays true to what it's going to be. You got Quantumania, Secret Invasion, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Loki Season 2, The Marvels. I don't know if they push Blade back, but then you still got Captain America, New World Order. You got the Thunderbolts. Like, it's a lot of stuff about.
Hey, they gonna have Hulk Hogan in there?
And he might be.
I hope not. Thunderbolts, Captain America, and him shit. He may be the final boss that Black Captain America has to run through before that movie's over.
Well, you know something, brother. I don't like a Black Captain America at all.
Just like I told my man's wife, I don't want no niggers around my women, or whatever he would say, and then he would have to beat his ass. He said that.
Anthony Mackie would be like, "I fucked your daughter," and that'd be the end of the movie.
He gonna turn back to Tupac.
Yeah,
the worst casting of all time, by the way. That
terrible,
worst casting.
Awful.
Anthony Mackie as Tupac is terrible.
Awful. How he get to be Tupac and Captain America?
That's the range.
Well, he would have had.
He's also a gay video game player.
So Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Nobody's supposed to be here.
In theaters now. And remember, it's right over left. Chadwick said it's right hand over left. If you're gonna do this shit, I don't want to see this shit. Right over left.
I don't want to see any of that shit. Stop that dumb shit, man.
Yo, Diz, I want.
That's how Diz. When I see Diz in real life from now on.
Goofy ass shit.
With a little bank bounce with?
Wait, Diz.
Go ahead, cut the titty for every fucking food that you eat.
Diz, what Black Kings did you grow up with?
Black Kings?
Yes.
Is that a gang, nigga? I don't know.
Exactly. Exactly. Your kids can go to the movie theater and see black royalty save the world.
That's on the screen, but sit your black ass
But
in
what
the
I'm
chair.
Diz.
Ain't nobody standing up watching that goddamn.
Ain't nobody.
movie.
Come on, Diz. You know,
they
come on.
did. Do you
they folded their skirts and sat down in their seats.
We gonna put that drum at, nigga.
All I'm saying, Diz.
Hey, brother, do you see a nigga when you look at me?
We
like, yeah.
We got to get out of here, but I'm gonna say this, and this is why I have to support Black Panther.
We should get that shooting the 5 in before we get out.
Fuck, you're right. We should do that. As a shorty, it was only so many black people on the screen, let alone dope black superheroes. The fact that, again, a little kid can walk into the movie theater this weekend, can go into the Walmart and get all types of fucking Black Panther fucking shit. Like, it's you have to support it. There's no way you can say, nah, I understand niggas is goofy. But just say, hey, goofy ass nigga, go. I'm trying to get some popcorn. Get the fuck out of my way, goofy man. Like, you just got to go in there and let them be them. Because
wear that cool. Hey man, wear y'all stuff. Y'all want to go to the movies? Wear your winter white. Wear your goddamn. You know what I mean?
Coming in there dressed up like Namor.
You know what I mean? Hey, if you gonna have your feet out, lotion them Jones.
Facts.
Loincloth all around.
Take your head dressing off when you sit down. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about niggas not wearing clothes no more? He ain't had no clothes on. It was no.
Since we're gonna do it, let's really do it.
I don't know.
I'll put a bone through my nose. Let's do it, nigga. This is shit. This is we gonna do it. Let's do it.
Namor was definitely dressed like a pro wrestler.
Facts. Facts. Well, shit. Before we get out of here, we got to hit the shooting the 5. I don't know if everybody got a shooting the 5. Hashtag
ST5. Hashtag shoot the 5 at Wiz Buffalo and everything. Twitter, everything, nigga.
Talk about it. In spirit of Black Panther, black superhero excellence in the movie theater, I figured it made sense. What's your top 5 black superheroes, brother Fam? Can you kick it off?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna start number 5, man. Funniest black superhero all time. One of my favorite comedians all time. Damon Wayans. I'm going blank, man.
I like that.
One of my favorite filmmakers all time. If you check the Nas, it has an amazing 5 Heartbeat sample in one of the songs. But the nigga behind 5 Heartbeats also was Media Man. Shout out to Robert Townsend and Media Man.
Filmed in Baltimore.
Oh, talk about it.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Tony Terry and the Golden Lords. I'm gonna go with Storm. I'm gonna go with Storm because she was dope. You gotta go with the blackest series ever made, right? Luke Cage. Luke Cage was the blackest series ever made. The niggas had the names of the episode was Mobb Deep and
again
Gangstar songs.
Ali Shaheed Muhammad did the music. I believe it might have been both the seasons of that show. Yeah,
and Adrian
Young.
Yep.
Yeah, man. And number one, I'm gonna go with Blade. Yo, Blade. You know what I mean? I'm hoping Mahershala, or however you say bro name. You know what I mean? That's a good one, Brock. Shout out to Brock. But Mahershala, you know what I mean? I hope he kills it, man. So yeah, that's my 5.
Word. Shit, did you want to go?
Sure, man. No particular order. I'm gonna start off with Luke Cage because as a kid, I was a superhero named Indestructo, nigga. That was my little. I'm 8 years old. I'm indestructible and shit. And then I found out about Luke Cage later, so I'm starting with Luke Cage.
So you had a superhero name, but niggas can't wear a kuofy to the movies.
I was a fucking
he
child.
did drop it like it was nothing, right?
I was a child, nigga. and I had on sweatpants, nigga. So that's different. Nick Fury. Nick Fury is a bad motherfucker, and I love Nick Fury was white at one point, but Samuel L. Jackson changed the whole continuity.
Facts.
Spawn. David Hasselhoff, right?
He looked like David.
In the comics, he damn sure looked like David Hasselhoff.
He looked like David Hasselhoff with a little bit of white in there. Yeah. You said Spawn.
Spawn, yes.
That's
Spawn, Cyborg, DC Cyborg. And yo, Storm, yo, Aurora Monroe, man. Just want to tap that white haired ass.
What a
Whoa.
What a great I love Storm. Sham, you got a top 5 black superheroes?
Yeah, I can figure something out.
Let's
So
go.
I'll go with in no order. I go Spawn. Let me see. I'll probably go John Stewart, Green Lantern. Let me go Bishop. Let me go. I gotta go Luke Cage too because I had like my uncle gave me like Luke Cage 1 back in the day. Like, like that was like one of my first comics I'd ever had. So
word.
Gotta go there. And matter of fact, I got one, but he had to be an honorable mention. Storm's gonna be at the top of my list regardless. Because I mean she the GOAT. But I would say the way the MCU depicted War Machine, they did it right. Because in the comics, he really ain't getting a lot of shine.
Right.
He was just kind of like the flunky, but like in the MCU, like he played a better role. Like he was just it made him look better. So I would go War Machine as my 6th man off the bench.
Hey, which one?
Don't do
it. Dark skin on Viv or light skin at Viv?
War Machine, man.
Fuck, he didn't make it to War Machine. He didn't make it.
I'm War Machine. I'm War Machine, man. I'm the one. You saw me in the movie, man.
That nigga say, next time, man. Next time, man.
That's still right, Biden. That was Iron Man.
Nick Fury.
I told you, Nick Fury used to be David.
I forgot about that. Was that a made-for-TV movie?
I don't know.
Does that count as a Marvel movie?
No. Oh shit!
It says Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. on it. Hold up.
No. But it wasn't. There was no Marvel Studios then.
This is when they were selling the rights because
they were about to go bankrupt.
Yeah, this was from 1998. This is a television superhero movie. Yeah, this was it was based on a Marvel Comics character. It was on Fox. All right, they said it was because this is what they used to do on TV. It was intended to be a backdoor pilot, which essentially means they make the movie, and if people respond to the movie, we'll make a TV show off of it. There was never a Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show.
The movie was so bad they switched it and made him a nigga. That's ill.
Just make him black.
Hey man, get Baywatch out of here.
Just make him black. But apparently,
call Stanley.
Mind you, they had the Contessa was in there, who's apparently she's a character now, right?
Yeah, played by the funny chick,
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah,
Val.
She was in there. There was a couple. It was Hydra. It was like, it was really comic based. I don't think I ever watched that shit though, because a lot of them shits be bad. Anyway, I'm gonna get my my 5 off real quick. This is from 5 to 1. Niggas love Blade. I'm not the biggest Blade fan, but I respect what Blade represents. And there's a point in Marvel Comics where if you're doing a vampire story, Blade about to be in an issue 2 or 3. It is what it is. And I hope they do right by Blade and do right by Mahershala with this film that's going to be coming out. Number 4 is Luke Cage. I feel bad because I think dude was a good Luke Cage. I don't think the show was as good as it could have been for a Luke Cage show, especially when, again, Mahershala Ali was the best part of that show to me. And he was gone kind of early season 1 and it kind of went down from there. But shouts to Luke Cage, the indestructible black man. No shade to Indestructo from back in the day. But if you watch something else and they talk about like superhero powers, it's always interesting to hear black people talk like unprompted. I would love for my superhero power to be impervious to bullets or whatever, because that's just fucking PTSD from real life turning into action hero dreams or whatever. But I'm not trying to get too deep tonight. Number 3 is Bishop. I love Bishop. I remember when I first saw the dude with the fucking super curl and he had the shit on his eye, and then in the comics he kind of went into like a anti-hero situation. I don't know. It's a character that I hope at some point the MCU figures him out because
Method Man wants to play him, right?
Like bad. Like
he looked like Monster Cody though. Like Monster, he had like he looked like Monster Cody.
Word. But Meth could do if you're gonna give somebody, because they had like it was almost kind of the same skin complexion, but I feel like Meth could kind of, he just needs to do the iced tea and just put the hair on him, right?
Yeah.
New Jack City's hair up. Number two. Yeah, number two is Storm.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that the African queen started out as a little pickpocket and she literally controls the weather. And in the comics, her and Black Panther got together, and I don't know. Marvel did some really interesting shit with when they had the Black Panther and Storm kind of married and running the shit. But read niggas. And number one, he was never a fave when I was reading comics, but again, being a grown ass man, being able to be alive to see the Black Panther and see like a whole Africa in the movies, I don't know. There's nothing that touches that right now, unless they did like a nigga man. It was some cat from Trenton that just got in the movies and was fucking people up with like a case pork roll, just smack them upside the head.
Man, yo, nigga man.
Why?
Smoke ready rocks.
All right, where's Ak at? I need you to make a short film called Nigga Man. 2025. He just go in the hood and just fuck. It's like Luke Cage, but it's your nigga.
I'm impervious to everything.
Nigga man.
Nigga man's
power. Nigga man's power is put money on EBT card by doing the Dougie. $300.
Hey, honorable mention. My first.
I can eat all week.
I can eat all week. It's crazy.
That's the catchline.
Hey, yo, honorable mention to the Prowler, who was kind of like an anti-hero. That was my first comic book. Prowler inspired.
Prowler. I mean, they opened the door for a Prowler.
Miles' uncle, right?
Yeah, they dropped the seat. They dropped little Teslas in there for that early, but that's on Sony to make that work.
Oh, that's and right. That's how that ties everything together. Because the Prowler, whole time.
Donald Glover said, "Hey, that was my. I know my little nigga Miles. That's what that sounds like." And then he was gone. But again, go back and check when that movie came out and see what Donald was working on in that like 2-3 year period.
He's supposed to be writing Deadpool, the Deadpool animated shit. I wish that would come back to fruition.
Were you on Twitter that day when
he dropped the whole script?
I screen grabbed. I got them all somewhere on my hard drive. The writing on it was so, because you could tell it was all right. We're gonna do an adult animated Deadpool series. Oh, they fucked us. Oh, all right. Let me write a script saying fuck y'all. But because I'm so talented, it's about to be 20 pages. And it's gonna be like a whole ass script that we're never gonna. The brilliance, and they got to do 4 seasons of some of the blackest television you ever seen.
Just look.
But you're gonna ask me why I say it's one of the best shows I've ever seen.
It's cool. It's very entertaining. It has its.
It's the most backhanded sounding compliment. It's very entertaining.
Shouts to the Buffy.
It's entertaining.
Shouts to the Buffy.
Yo. I'm sorry, yo.
Shouts to the Buffy. I show up and they just kick dirt on my name. No,
no, you my nigga.
I love y'all. This has been fun. We got to get out of here. Shit. Sham, thank you for coming through. Let the people know where they can find you.
Appreciate y'all having me.
If you're not lost in the matrix.
Find me, Anakin Invader. Anakin Invader on all your social media platforms. If you need some beats, come holler.
That's it.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Don't even.
Oh, it's not. Oh, and shout out to Diz. Shout out to Diz for the half court alley. You know what I'm talking about.
Jesus is my nigga.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll get no blacker than that.
Facts. Shit. I don't know how to end the Buffy.
Hey man, that being said, that's what we got this week. That being said, I am IlFam79 on your social media choice, aka the Anderson of podcast, and aka Captain Broadband, Brew Diamond Phillips, Sticky the Dragon Steamboat, Cheeto Santana Pod, Chin Pod, God's favorite podcast, the Potty Pipe. I'm in the podcast, Chew Bubblegum, and I'm all out of Dentine. I used to sing you on Love Daddy at WFAM, where family always matters, and my tag team partner.
Before getting into myself and I love getting into myself, where's Buffy.com, where's Buffy.com, where's Buffy.com, at where's Buffy on Instagram, Twitter, and everything that you want to get at. What does it mean to be the R. Anderson of podcast? And never mind that. I'm Fat Boy Diz. This would be more Diz. You're one of the most finger wavers, not just one of those penis trying to cock ramp. The glove don't fit. I will not hit. I'm not a normal nigga. I smoke cigars. I use rubbers. And sometimes I shit all on Cal's piece of seeds.
Google Enforcer.
Facts. Yeah, Google the Enforcer. That nigga, he's so cold. Was it last year? He held he said, "I got the Glock."
Man, make the Glock go pop. Yo, that nigga was hard, boy. Double A. On Anderson.
Forever.
On Anderson was a real nigga.
That's a real nigga for real. My name is Cal at Cal on Twitter. Most importantly, at Black Rascal on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Shouts out to the Buffy every Friday, every Tuesday. If you're not subscribed, Where's Buffy podcast on YouTube? Where's Buffy on everywhere on social media? Do the goddamn thing. Click the subscribe. Click the like. Click the follow. And most importantly, stay united. We out here. Peace.
Like me or not, I didn't come up here to be liked. I came up here to get paid.